say was, "My name is Sarah, and I like to dance." Actually, I love to. A lot. I'm not going to tell you that I'm the best, or that dance is all I've ever focused on in my life. But I have worked really hard, especially over this last year, to get to the place that I am. I've always liked to dance. But recently, I started focusing on getting my technique and skill level higher. For the past 2 years, I've been on the Flint Hill dance team. And over the summer, I spent 3 weeks in an intensive ballet program where I danced from 10 to 4 every day. It was extremely challenging, but it was also one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. And my technique did get better. This year on FHDT, we spent a lot of time getting ready for the competition and football season back in the fall. Every day, I strived to be better than the day before, and I felt so driven and focused and sure of who I was and my place on the team and in school. But several months ago, I faced the greatest challenge I'd ever found myself in, something that would change my point of view on the world. It wasn't between myself and someone else, not a fight at school or a disagreement with my parents. It was meant to test me. I got hurt. I fell, and fell again and again. But I didn't stop my activities. Not because someone forced me to keep going, or someone told me I should stop, but because I didn't want to think there was something wrong or even comprehend the idea that soon my world was going to be turned upside down. I didn't take care of myself. I was clumsy. I was in denial. Up until then, I had been invincible. Or so I thought. 2 weeks after the pain had started, I went to the doctor to find out that I had broken 3 bones in my foot and pulled several tendons. They didn't know how long it'd be before I could dance again. The first thing I did was cry. I bawled, actually. I don't think I've ever felt that devastated. I think it was because it wasn't just self-pity or fear that I was feeling, but it was frustration and fear. Fear that I was losing something I cared so much about. You see, dance is a daily sport, meaning every day I wasn't dancing meant all that training I'd been doing was slipping away. My flexibility, my strength, my stamina. While I struggled to live with crutches and a cast, everything around me seemed to be moving so fast while I was standing still. The people around me were going 60 miles an hour while I was moving at turtle speed. What used to be a typical day at school became the biggest challenge. Things like opening the door, carrying my backpack, going up the stairs. So after several weeks of moping and being generally angry at the world, I realized I was in a slump. This injury was affecting my friendships. I'd go home after school and I'd sleep or watch TV. I didn't see my family for weeks. I didn't want to see anyone. I felt out of control. I cried, I screamed. Every day felt like a struggle between 2 different sides of myself. Sometimes I'd look at myself and I'd say, "Why are you so angry all the time? Just be happy." But then even the smallest thing, like having difficulty going up the stairs, would send me back down again. And by the time I got to my room, I was angry again. Now, take a moment to close your eyes. Go ahead. Think of what defines you. Are you a writer, an athlete, an amazing friend? Now, what if that was taken away from you? Your ability to write or run, your best friend. Open your eyes. Looking back now, I was so irrationally angry all the time. I lost track of what I wanted out of my youth. And I was literally wasting away because one bad thing happened to me. Honestly, on the greater scale of things, is breaking my foot going to be what I remember most when I look back on my high school days? Is it what I want to remember most and how it stopped me from being happy? Now, I dream about a better life for myself. When my dreams seemed crushed, like when I broke my foot and I thought everything I cared about was being taken away from me. What I later realized was I hadn't lost anything at all. In fact, I was given the opportunity, ironically, to learn more about myself. I realized there are other things I'm good at, other things that make me, me. And yes, I'd be able to dance again. But that no longer defined who I was. I could not be defined by one aspect of my life. I learned to focus on what I want in life, and that it's okay to change my focus. When things were impossible, I learned it's okay to start again. Think outside the box. Find a solution that wasn't on a straight line. If I'd accepted the fact I wouldn't be able to dance again, I wouldn't have. But I told myself every day my situation wasn't permanent. When I had people supporting me, it was a safety net to fall back on. But by going through an experience where at many times I had to stand alone, I learned the importance of self-motivation. All this time, all my energy was devoted to seeing the negative things that had recently happened to me. Looking back now, I wish I realized that if I just took a step back from my anger and frustration and resentment to any situation I find myself in, just take 1 second to realize that there are so many other things in life that make me happy. The things I never acknowledged, like how much I love to sing, or the friends who I took for granted, or my parents who never truly left my side. If I kept those things in mind, I'd be stronger and content with who I am and what I have. And from there, I could strive to achieve anything. Now, when I feel everything is falling apart and the world is crumbling from under my feet, I take a deep breath. I take a step back. And I think about all the other things in life. And I tell myself, I am not alone. I realize that life is made out of pieces. And though some are bigger than others, not one can stand alone. And with that being said, even if you take a piece out, like dancing, it wouldn't be empty. Life doesn't work that way. Our job is to fill that missing piece with love and adventure and new goals we set for ourselves every day. Today, I now know to never let anything, good or bad, pass me by unnoticed. I learn something new from each experience I find myself in, and I use it to make myself a more compassionate, dedicated, driven, and devoted human being. All I ask of you today is look back on an experience you had and think, how have you changed from it? Remember this in the future when you find yourself in a situation where you don't know what to do, and use the lessons that you've learned to overcome that challenge. Life is full of obstacles. It's how we react to them that make us who we are, stronger, and ready to strive to achieving more. And with this in mind, you too can learn a new dance. Thank you so much.